Good day. The objectives of this video are to 1. Provide an understanding of the weighting of paper and profiles table found in the syllabus and how it relates to grading. 2. Demonstrate how profile scores are determined from the weighting of paper and profiles table. 3. Explain how some candidates with similar profile grades may have different overall grades. Understanding the weighting of paper and profiles. Let us take a look at a table in the CSEC Mathematics syllabus, page 5, under the caption Weighting of Paper and Profiles. The maximum score to be earned by a candidate is 200 marks. The knowledge profile contributes 30% of the candidate's final grade. The comprehension profile contributes 40%, and the reasoning profile contributes 30%. Though Paper 1, Paper 2, and Paper 3 contribute 30%, 50%, and 20% respectively, for the purpose of grading, the paper contribution is not as important as the profile contribution, since CXC grades on profiles and not paper. So how are the profile scores and profile grades determined? In order to understand how the profile scores are determined, let us go back to the syllabus and take another look at the weightings of paper and profiles table. Let us strip the table out, leaving the profiles column and the total column. Now let us convert the profiles column to a row. Then convert the total column to a row. The total column now becomes the maximum score for each profile. Each profile has letter grades A to F in the case of CSEC and A to G in the case of CAPE. Let us change the word total to composite, which is the preferred term used by CXC at grading. CSEC has a 6-point grading system, grades 1 to 6, while CAPE has a 7-point grading system, grades 1 to 7. Each grade band within each grading system has a specific cutoff point. CXC does not make cutoff points public, so for the purpose of this presentation, let us assume that the minimum score a candidate may earn in order to be awarded a grade 3, the lowest acceptable grade, is 70%, which is translated to 140 marks out of the available maximum of 200 marks, the total for CSEC Mathematics. Now work backwards to determine the cutoff points for the other grades. Using a consistent difference of 10% between each cutoff point for each grade band, we get 80% or 160 marks at grade 2, 90% or 180 marks at grade 1, 60% or 120 marks at grade 4, 50% or 100 marks at grade 5, and less than 50% or less than 100 marks at grade 6. So now that we have established the maximum score for each profile, the max row, and we have established the cutoffs for each grade according to the columns composite, grade, and cutoff, we need to complete the table by establishing the minimum for each profile grade. For the knowledge profile, profile grade A has a minimum of 90% of 60, which is the cutoff associated with grade 1 times the profile max, giving us 54 marks. In the case of the comprehension profile, profile grade A has a minimum of 90% of 80, the cutoff associated with grade 1 times the profile max, giving us 72 marks. In the case of the reasoning profile, profile grade A has a minimum of 90% of 60, which is the cutoff associated with grade 1 times the profile max, giving us 54 marks. Again, for the knowledge profile, Grade B has a minimum of 80% of 60, which is the cutoff associated with grade 2 times the profile max, giving us 48 marks. In the case of the comprehension profile, grade B has a minimum of 80% of 80, which is the cutoff associated with grade 2 times the profile max, giving us 64 marks. In the case of the reasoning profile, grade B has a minimum of 80% of 60, the cutoff associated with grade 2 times the profile max, giving us 48 marks. Again, for the knowledge profile, grade C has a minimum of 70% of 60, giving us 42 marks. In the case of the comprehension profile, grade C has a minimum of 70% of 80, giving us 56 marks. In the case of the reasoning profile, grade C has a minimum of 70% of 60, giving us 42 marks. Continuing with this logic, we complete the table. So, from the table, the maximum or composite score for the subject is 200 marks. The maximum score for knowledge and reasoning is 60 marks. The maximum score for comprehension is 80 marks. Each profile has a letter grade A to F, as this is for a CSEC subject. Each letter grade is associated with a range of scores that contributes to the final grade awarded. That is, for knowledge and reasoning, A ranges from 54 marks to 60 marks. B ranges from 48 marks to 53 marks. C ranges from 42 marks to 47 marks, and so on. For comprehension, A ranges from 72 marks to 80 marks. B ranges from 64 marks to 71 marks. C ranges from 56 marks to 63 marks, and so on. Be reminded that the numbers used are for presentation purposes only. Now, based on this information, a candidate should appreciate the following. CSEC candidates should note that for the acceptable grade bands, profile grades D, E, and F are not allowed for grade 1. Profile grades E and F are not allowed for grade 2 and grade 3. CAPE candidates should note that for the acceptable grade bands, profile grades D, E, F, and G are not allowed for grade 1. Profile grades E, F, and G are not allowed for grade 2. Profile grades F and G are not allowed for grade 3 and grade 4. Profile grade G is not allowed for grade 5. So why do some candidates have similar profile grades but different overall grades? Recall that each profile grade represents a range of scores. As a result, varying scores within a letter grade combination may lead to two candidates having a different composite grade. This is because their performance would vary on one or more profiles, as shown in the following examples. Candidate X. Candidate X earns 60 marks on knowledge, 80 marks on comprehension, and 47 marks on reasoning, giving the letter grade combination of A, A, C. The composite grade is 187 marks, resulting from 60 plus 80 plus 47. Candidate X is awarded grade 1. Candidate Y. Candidate Y earns 54 marks on knowledge, 72 marks on comprehension, and 47 marks on reasoning, giving the letter grade combination of A, A, C. The composite grade is 173 marks, resulting from 54 plus 72 plus 47. Candidate Y is awarded grade 2. Candidate Z. Candidate Z earns 60 marks on knowledge, 80 marks on comprehension, and 41 marks on reasoning, giving the letter grade combination of A, D. The composite grade is 181 marks, resulting from 60 plus 80 plus 41. Candidate Z is awarded grade 2 because letter grade D is not allowed in grade 1. Thank you for watching. I hope this will assist you in understanding your grades.